Exclusively on Tucson's new run, 92.1 KFMA, Green Valley, Tucson, K292CM, Summerhaven. Loveline may contain sexually oriented content. Listener discretion advised.
Now, here's Loveline.
1-800-LOVE-191.
With Dr. Drew and Adam Carolla.
Mic on, Mike? Oh, there it is. Hey, phone number for Loveline, 1-800-LOVE-191. Fax number 310-854-4455. I'm Adam Carolla. That's Dr. Drew. Dr. Drew is a board-certified physician and addiction medicine specialist. Greg Graffin is here from Bad Religion. Bad Religion has themselves a CD out. It's called No Substance, and they got some shows coming up, and we'll give some plugs of where they're going to be. Greg has probably been on the show 3 times since I've been here, and probably 33 times in Loveline's
history,
illustrious career.
31.
I'm sorry. I didn't see the notches on the console. Bad Religion has been around for how many years now?
The year 2000 will not only be one of the most important turnings of our calendar as human beings, but also the 20-year anniversary of Bad Religion.
Wow. Really?
Yeah.
And it's amazing. And you know what else is weird, too? You formed a band in 1980, and we're damn near 20 years. That's 20 years old.
Yeah, it's hard to believe.
I mean, it's what...
I was 15 at the time, so... Yeah.
It's like what Paul Revere and the Raiders were, or like Jerry and the Pacemakers were when you guys formed in 1980.
Yeah, it's hard to believe.
It's like what bread was.
No.
Quite, yeah.
No, that was probably, early 70s.
Yeah, 10 years. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Brian
Jane and
Jay
Brian are both here from Bad Religion. They've slid in. They had a long night of rehearsal. And after 20 years, do you really have to rehearse, or don't you just get together and drink and argue?
Yeah, actually, we don't live near each other. Well, that really helps us, stay sane. But when we have a show, we do take it a little bit seriously, so we rehearse for a few minutes.
Come on, factually. It's a couple of days.
All right. Yeah. We do a little bit of rehearsal.
It's like you guys practice, right?
No, but
you guys get in here and do your
our practice is our doing.
We're never off a mic or not in front of a camera.
That was going to be my question, which was, if you start a tour, and obviously there's some rehearsal before that, but there's no rehearsal, like playing your nuts off for an hour and a half, 4 or 5 nights a week.
In front of people.
That's right. And then you fast forward 4 or 5 months into the tour. I mean, isn't that the rehearsal?
Yeah,
that's what it's supposed to be. The first 5 shows. You never want to see the first 5 shows of a tour.
Try to catch the end of a tour if you can when you're buying your tickets.
I'd imagine there's a sweet spot in the middle somewhere between working out all the kinks and not being pissed off, burnt out, wanting to kill everyone else in the band.
It's
somewhere.
Des Moines.
Is it Des Moines?
That'd be the gravy zone.
Yeah. You try to keep those the major markets when you're warmed up the most.
Right.
But this is just a short tour. We got 4 shows, and we decided to concentrate on California because it's sort of not only our sentimental home, but this is where we went to high school, so it's our real home.
That's right. And we have Walter Reed Junior High, I think, in common.
Hale Junior High.
Oh, you went to Hale.
I went to Hale. You went to Reed?
You didn't go to Hale. You went to El Camino.
That's a high school, Jay.
Well, where'd you go?
See, Jay dropped out, so
Jay
doesn't know there's any education past the 8th grade.
What?
Hale Junior High.
Junior high?
Hale Junior High. He went to Reed Junior High.
That's right.
That's before high school.
You used to.
No, they named a junior high school after the skipper.
Yes, apparently.
Alan Hale Junior High.
Yeah, it's amazing.
See, I went to Gilligan High. That's why.
The beauty in that, of course, is that it's Alan Hale Jr. is his name. So I'm sure Dr. Drew knew that when he threw that out there for us.
But Greg, you then went to North Hollywood, right? Is that correct?
No, I stayed in the West Valley.
Oh, you went to Hale and then you went to El Camino.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The garden spot of the country, the West Valley.
The amazing thing is, I hope there are no administrators listening from from El Camino, but do you realize that at the time I was there, which was 81, 82, and 80, was the best school in the LA Unified School District.
Really?
The place looked like a prison back then. I don't know what it looks like now, but I had a teacher.
I understand the best in LA Unified means least number of murders.
Yeah, something like that.
Right. They have the most metal detectors. Right. Therefore, they've won the crown.
People were
the early 80s. It was the least amount of stabbings, I think, at that point.
People were proud to go there. I'm going to get
Let me say, El Camino, I think, wins those math competitions every other year, but they actually, when you see the ethnic breakdown of who wins the math competition, you soon realize they import them all from Asia. Yeah. That's how it works.
I thought it was me.
No.
Sorry.
Oh, no, sorry.
All right, you guys ready to take some calls, and then we'll get into some of these dates and hear something off the CD and do all that as we move along. Susan, you're 23.
Yeah, I had a medical question for Dr. Drew.
Yeah?
Dr. Drew, I've been to several gynecologists about this, and they've all pretty much kind of ignored my question. When I have a lot of intercourse with my husband, it seems that his semen gets stuck up inside of me. My stomach bloats and it gets tender. And
hold on, that's called being pregnant, when a man's semen gets stuck up inside you and then your stomach bloats. Isn't that true?
Yeah.
No. It comes out a few days later in a big clump. And I was wondering what would cause that.
Lint.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense to me. Are you sure it's not just a discharge you get a couple days later?
No,
I mean, here's...
it's not light. It's just pours out.
No, I would interpret this more as some sort of infection that gets stirred up by the trauma of intercourse, and that subsequent to the trauma, you get some discharge down the road a couple days. I mean, you can get inflammation, infection of the uterus, of the tubes, and these things can cause a discharge.
Well, let's do the math here. Does anything come out when he's finished?
Just barely.
Just barely.
Yes.
But I don't know if you've ever seen a loaded penis go off before, but there's not a whole lot of confetti in there in the first place.
I know it's not a whole lot, and that's what the GYN said, and they all blew it off on that. But it happens. I get sore.
No, that's not what it is, though.
Yeah, but the way, Susan, you're describing it is there's more coming out than what's going in.
Well,
there's something...
over several days.
This what?
It builds up over several days.
No, Susan.
Hold on a
you
second.
Have a grave misconception.
We got to talk about Susan for a second. You know what I love about our listeners? Really, this is really the reason I'm thinking about doing the show for free. It really has that kind of entertainment. Only for 15 minutes a night, and then I went triple pay. It brings me such great entertainment when people hypothesize about what is going on with their body. And the good part is once they latch on to a notion or an idea, they are like a pit bull on a gym sock, and that's it. And you can have PhDs sit them down and describe to them how it is physically and mathematically impossible for the scenario that they're describing to go on within their body, and
they go, yes, but.
Yes, but.
Yes, but. I swell up and I pour a semen out 2 days later.
Semen is not exponential, is it?
No.
Otherwise, my testicles would be huge.
It doesn't reproduce unless it's attached to the egg.
All the doctors have said that same thing.
Okay, that's all of the doctors. Now you have a rock band, another doctor, and a guy who went to North Hollywood High who are all concurring. So why do you still cling to this, Susan?
Because I know there's something squirting out of me.
And Susan, you ever heard of a discharge from an infection?
I went to a GYN, and she said I had a urinary tract infection, and she gave me antibiotics, but it's the only time I ever had one.
Susan?
It's still happening. It still happened even when I was on antibiotics.
I know, but it takes a lot of antibiotics to wipe out some of these pelvic infections, and I think you ought to go back and talk to them about that possibility. The antibiotics that would cover a urinary tract infection would not cover a pelvic infection.
All right, Susan.
And it might be even things like ovarian cysts and stuff can do this sort of thing too. So,
Susan, did you go to junior college?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to check.
I went to Pierce.
I know a product of junior college when I hear it.
Hey,
Jay went to Pierce College.
We're not going to high school.
She was valedictorian, too, believe you me.
That's right.
You went to Pierce, Jay?
I did.
No, that explains a lot.
He took golf.
Yes, I did.
They got a hell of a cross-country track over there, I'll tell you that.
And the amazing thing is he had to take the equivalency exam in order to take golf.
GED for golf.
Yeah.
I got it.
How does that work? Like, does your professor pull you aside and tell you,
placement.
you know, your chipping is very strong, Jay, but I'd like you to work on your short game, your putting, things like that?
You get like an AUU, right? Like for unsportsmanlike conduct out on the course.
Jay didn't replace a divot, and for that reason, I gave him a U.
You still wearing spikes?
Yes, I am.
You're out of here.
You're out of here.
Spikes in the clubhouse. Rodney.
Hey.
Hey, you're 16.
How's it going? Jim? Bad Religion, oh man, you guys are one of my favorite bands. I love you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, I don't know, I have No Substance. I think it's a great record. I noticed some differences between that one and some of the older ones. Like, what do you guys think, you know, how you guys changing, like, evolving musically from some of the older albums to up to now, you know?
Well, this is a question we get a lot, and anytime you look at any kind of institution that's been around for 20 years, if it doesn't change, you're probably in trouble, because that means they're trying to do something and it's just not clicking.
Yeah, I know. I know what you mean.
We've been lucky enough to have a pretty consistent following, and every year, like yourself, young people come to recognize Bad Religion, and it's probably because of that evolution that you're talking about that it still keeps us attractive to people. And if you do anything for too long and it doesn't evolve, it gets pretty boring.
Yeah, I know. I just like that the whole new album. It's like, it just blows me away how great it is. You know, I just want to say, you know, you guys are great.
You got a song you want to hear off it, Rodney?
Can you play the Voracious March of Godliness? Because that's like one of the best songs I really like.
What'd you say? The biggest killer in American history?
That one's great too.
Oh yeah, you're damn right. It's great. Hey, Mike.
All right, thanks a lot.
Put the phone down.
All right.
Not you, Ronnie. You put the phone down too. All right. Hey, Mike. You want to hear some Bad Religion? We're going to hear the biggest killer in American history. You got it? All right. Is it? Oh, what number?
4, I think.
Mike, put the phone down, would you?
It's right here.
For Christ's sake. Drew, number 4? That is the biggest killer in American history off of No Substance. Bad Religion. And as Drew would say, or said during the commercial or during the song break, still rocking hard after 20 years.
He was slamming. I saw him.
Yeah. You guys never saw that. You should see it.
Doing the mosh.
20 years and still rocking. That must be cool, actually. The last caller, Rodney, who's really into Bad Religion, is 16, which means he was born 4 years after the band formed, essentially, or maybe 3 years or so, depending on who's doing the math. But it must be nice to have guys like born into it.
It's believe me, it's the lifeblood of Bad Religion. I mean, if young people don't find what you do attractive, then you have no future.
Well, you guys are a lot like the tobacco industry, which is you got to keep signing them up.
We're a lot like them.
We get them young.
Sean,
we're offering rebates.
Sean, you're 16.
Yeah, we're really sorry.
What's going on,
Shawn?
Hello,
Shawn.
Yeah, you guys are pretty cool.
Yeah,
okay. It is cool.
Thanks a lot,
Sean.
What's going on, Sean?
Hey, Sean.
I think you're on Orange Sunshine. Listen to some Allman Brothers.
Oh, yeah.
What's going on, pal?
All right, I was wondering why, girls always like the muscle head guys and stuff, you know.
What does that mean to you?
Not all girls like the musclehead guys.
In fact, they tend not to, really.
I mean, like, it must be only where I live, but it seems like you know, like they only like the dudes that are like strong and they don't. I mean, it was talking about, well, I think it must be my only opinion or something, or it seems to me that they're always saying that they want like a nice guy who's gonna be in like a relationship, then they go back to the same pretty boy, big muscle guy and stuff like that.
Wow, you're gonna have to give me electricity to start my heart up again.
Yeah, let's give Drew the paddles.
Yeah.
Hey,
ow,
Sean.
Man.
Sean,
look into some creatine. It's all good for you.
They
don't like muscle guys.
They really don't. They like scrawny guys who can form sentences.
What?
There you
That's
go.
what we've been working on for 20 years or so.
How can you talk to Sean?
I'm not sure.
It's like the Armed Forces Network. I imagine you're out at sea.
What? Yeah, you'd hate to have this guy in the radio room while the ship was going down. May.
What?
Day. Oops, wait a minute, we're in the water. All right, let's see. Hey, Sean?
Yeah.
There you go. Now you're perking up, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You're not having any luck with the ladies?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. But it's here's the thing. Don't focus on what other guys got and don't hypothesize about why they like what other guys got. Just sort of focus on what you have and see if you can make it work for you.
But it seems like what I have drives them away.
What is that you have?
I don't know. That's the problem.
Shawn,
Yeah.
chicks dig me because I rarely wear underwear, and when I do, it's something pretty special. But when I was in high school, nobody liked me. I mean, and I had a pretty cool band too, you know.
I can vouch for that.
Yeah, girls didn't like me either, and it wasn't because I didn't fit some stereotype. It was simply because I didn't feel that good about myself.
Right.
And as I started to get a little more secure,
Women have a barometer, an internal gauge of male self-worth.
Yeah. They really do, and the ones that are suffering the most get to suffer more.
Right.
And the ones that are on top of the world, beating their chests and couldn't feel better about themselves, get to feel a little better about themselves because they're going to get some oral sex in about 10 minutes.
It spoils. But also, this is something really important to remember. A friend of mine named Jennifer came up with this, and it really sticks true. Winner in high school, loser in life.
Yes.
And I was the opposite, loser in high school, and, well, we still have yet to see what I am in life. But
No, you're a winner, Greg.
Oh, okay,
go with
thank you.
winner.
Yeah, I'll go with winner.
And I just think that it's really easy to get obsessed with high school society when you're in it, but there's a lot of life to live after it, and it's a time when everyone is trying to find out who they are.
Is he in high school?
He's 16, so I'm guessing. Unless, my theory is he probably skipped a few grades in his first year of college, just from speaking to him. I assume he was moved ahead of the other kids.
Of course.
So anyway, yes, I don't know what to say to all you people in high school that aren't getting laid, who feel like outsiders, who feel like the world's against you, but you will have your day if you don't just commit suicide when you're 19.
It helps to form a band, though. I must say that that's the e-ticket.
I'm still thinking about doing that. Liz.
Hello, guys. How are you?
Good. You're 22.
22.
Yes.
I have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
I've been married. It'll be a year, February 11th. And 2 weeks after I got married, the guy I married lost his job. About 6 months after that, I caught him on the computer looking at gay porn. And it's been almost a full year since we got married. He still hasn't found a job. He sits around depressed all the time. And I'm kind of starting to feel like maybe he's homosexual. I don't know.
You're angry, aren't you?
Well,
I'm a little upset.
Well, I don't think because he doesn't have a job he's a homosexual. I don't think those two things equate.
No.
And it's really hard to get off of a computer screen when you're on it and you don't want anybody to catch you looking at something that you didn't really mean to get on anyway, but it just popped up and someone catches you and you have to find that little tiny triangle to make it go away.
But
it doesn't go away fast enough.
That's not how the situation... He went in... It was America Online, and he went in and changed his screen name and then went into gay sites after that with the new screen name.
Well, what did he change his screen name to? I think that can probably tell us something.
I'm not sure what he changed his
Thor?
Not
Duke? No.
Bruce?
Maybe, let's be fair to this guy, maybe he's looking for work in gay porn, and he possibly was just doing some research.
It pays well.
Let's not judge so quickly, Liz.
That's right.
Did you ever actually ask him if he likes men?
Not directly, no.
Okay, first thing you got to do, I think, to make a healthy marriage is to ask the hard questions. And if you don't ask him if he likes men, you're going to just get upset because there are these indications that he might like men. But it'll also give him an opportunity to tell you how he really feels. And as for him being out of work and not getting a job, I think you have a legitimate right to be angry, but...
but I shouldn't be worried about this whole gay porn thing.
Well, I think, like Jay said...
for heterosexual guys to look at gay porn?
I never go to the gay porn sites, no.
Take a poll.
Not even by accident?
No.
If I do, I quickly change the
Take a poll wouldn't be a bad name for a gay porn site, though, Drew, if you really think about it. No. Here's my take, although I'm not sure on these numbers, but heterosexual guys really should be disgusted by gay porn. As a matter of fact, I think gays should be disgusted by gay porn as well, but that's coming from a heterosexual guy. But there is like a 4 to 6% of the population that is heterosexual and will still watch whatever for just a sort of morbid curiosity.
And is he doing drugs or anything?
He does smoke weed.
Every day?
On a very regular basis.
Well,
can you get him? What does he do? What's he trained in?
What was your...
Does he have any vocation?
No, he just casino work.
The most common presentation I have to deal with marijuana dependency is inability to... losing one's job and inability to establish a new employ and depression. So really, he needs to look into what's going on here, because until the marijuana stops, none of this is going to get any better. And when he stops the marijuana, there is an extraordinary incidence of suicidal thinking. And people stop smoking pot from a daily basis for about 6 months. And he needs to be observed if that happens.
Okay.
So it's a pretty serious issue, and that's sort of the core problem.
Can you get him back to the casino? So can he get a job back in the Review or whatever he was working in? What was he doing in the casino?
He was working in a vault.
In the vault?
Counting money.
And what happened? He farted? They'll fire your ass in a second you fart in a vault.
I've heard that.
There's a big sign in those vaults. I don't know if anyone's been in those casino vaults. No farting. You can't crack a window. You can't leave the door open.
Reminds me of the studio.
You can't light a match. Yeah, yeah.
Here we are.
No, that
Well, but he's got accounting skills in some way, shape, or form.
Right.
All right. Well, tell him to get back with it, Liz.
Okay.
You got to get him started.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about depression. Your brain is like a muscle. It starts to atrophy, and when you can't use it, and you don't use it, and you start smoking a lot of weed, and you start sliding into this sort of molasses, you get deeper and deeper, and you won't get out. I was saying to Drew the other night, I thought it was a brilliant analogy. Drew just thought it was so. But I said, listen, if you don't exercise, you never do any exercise, and you haven't done any exercise, and you sit around and watch TV and eat hoagies all day, if I told you to run a brisk lap around your block, that'd be a pretty monumental task for a lot of people. I mean, they really wouldn't want to do it, and they'd probably tell you they could do it once a month. To someone who works out every day, it'd be nothing. They do 15 every day. And I think work becomes that way, too. When you don't work and a year goes by, just going in, just putting a suit on and going for an interview is monumental. I mean, it's something that we might not think twice about, but for him, putting in a 40-hour week at where he's at right now is huge.
I would say the average story I hear, and this is absolutely true, the typical story I hear of marijuana dependency is, lost my job 3 years ago, and I've been working on my resume 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Really?
It's like 2 years of staring at a typewriter.
Oh, yeah. And the gay porn thing doesn't usually factor in. They just don't admit that to you. Okay. We're going to take ourselves a little break. Bad Religion is here. It's getting a little hot in the studio. Yeah. Well, when we come back, Drew, who are we going to talk to?
I don't know yet.
Okay. That's good radio.
You have 5 seconds left.
All right. Jay, Brian, and Greg are all here from Bad Religion. No Substance is the name of the CD. This is a band we like, so we'll permit you to go out and buy their CD or even buy it again. Here's some show dates, by the way. They're going to be at the Glass House on Wednesday in Pomona. Thursday, they're going to be at Crosby Hall, which is in Del Mar. Well, that's a nice area. Friday, they'll be in Santa Monica. Oh, they'll be at Santa Monica Civic. That's a cool place. All the years I've lived here, I've never seen a show there.
Oh, not one?
I don't know.
You really must.
I don't know what's wrong with me. I used to go to Perkins Palace.
Well, that's further away than the Civic.
There's plenty of parking.
I know. They have a huge parking lot.
I should go to the Civic. I went to Perkins Palace and saw the Plasmatics.
Oh, man.
You could have seen them at the Whiskey.
We were probably there. Jay got kicked out once.
That was at the Whiskey.
That was at the Whiskey.
What was that, like 81 or something?
Jay hawked a loogie on her.
Oh, really?
Oh, I just read yesterday that poor Wendy O. Williams died.
Oh, a long time ago.
A while ago, yeah.
Oh,
a while ago.
Where the hell have I been?
So I'm sorry. I'm sorry for what I did way back then.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think she smiled and her face cracked or something, and
chainsaw incident.
Honestly, one of the clothespins she had on her nipples got infected. The actual pin part got infected.
Honestly,
which was
that's nice.
Please, I don't know what happened to her.
Is that true?
No, but I'll tell you one thing.
It was duct tape.
I'll tell you one thing I do know, Drew. A pig is a pig, and that's that.
Okay.
Drew, that's the beauty of Drew.
Let's go to calls.
The band's cool to the lyrics, though. They're hip to the lyrics. Jake.
Yeah.
You're 15.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Car keys?
Oh, it's some bumps on, like, like the bottom of my penis and my balls.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it's pretty weird.
What's weird about them?
Huh?
Why are they weird?
They're not supposed to be there, like, I don't think anyway. That's what I'm calling.
Well, all kinds of bumps can occur there that are normal. What do they look like?
Bumps.
Well, are they just like lumpy skin, or do they have something inside?
They look
of them?
like little rubber, like little fleshy.
No, it's like bumpy skin, kind of.
Like chicken skin?
No, I'm like farther apart, kind of.
But there's that quality to it where it looks like there's a hair follicle there.
Yeah.
That's normal.
That's cool.
That's part of the pearly penile papules, probably.
Wait, say that 3 times fast.
Pearly penile papules, pearly penile papules, pearly penile papules. Don't worry
you
about it.
You don't have to do everything Jay tells you to do, you know.
He feels a challenge.
Adam.
That was pretty good, huh?
He feels a challenge from Jay.
The third one was slow.
Yeah, he really did draw out that last one. Hey, Jake?
Yeah.
You're probably okay. Have you had sex?
Yeah.
You have?
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, did you use protection?
Mm-hmm.
You did?
Oh, yeah.
Do these things look like warts at all?
No, it's been there for a while now.
Before you had sex? Before you had any intercourse, they were there?
Yeah, like a really long time ago.
All right, they're probably the pearly papules, all right?
It's what?
Pearly papules.
Oh, all right.
You're all right there, Jake. Jake?
Yeah.
Stay in school.
Oh, I will.
And listen, when I say stay in school, I mean don't even leave after the bell rings. I mean, I really want you just to stay there. Don't you think he should, like, roll a sleeping bag out in class?
If he works hard, he could end up like Shawn.
Oh, my God.
Do you guys find a lot of callers nowadays who are not staying at school? Or do you find a lot of homeschoolers who are calling in?
No. You know, we haven't talked to too many homeschoolers.
That is really popular up around where I live now in upstate New York.
Yeah.
People are keeping their kids out of school. They think they can teach them better. And
really?
I couldn't imagine doing that.
Ain't. A-I-N-T. Ain't. Spell it.
Virginia. V-E-R.
G-E-N-N-A.
Virginia.
Your parents would keep you out of school if they were parenting now. You know what I mean? As they were in their hippie days.
No, because they couldn't have, like, Happy and Pat and Sunshine and Axis couldn't have sat around and smoked weed if I was there. They had to send me off somewhere. Now, I don't really understand that because for me, at least 3/4 of schooling was all about socialization.
Yeah.
There's a hierarchy. You have to sort of fight your way to the top, or you at least try. There's a whole. It's sort of a life microcosm there, and you got to learn how to get along with people, and you got to learn how to position yourself and how to make your way through the crowd.
I'm a little freaked out about what my kids are being exposed to. My daughter tonight, I'm getting like milk for bed. She goes, "Hey, do you and mommy sex?"
Uh-oh.
I almost went through the floor.
Really?
How old is she?
6.
Well,
Did you explain it?
And I went, well, what is that? She goes, she got really embarrassed. I said, that's all right. Where'd you see that? And I just want to know. Well, TV.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
I thought, oh, my God. I'm throwing that goddamn thing out the window.
Hey, Drew, you'll be on it when you toss it out. Talking about masturbation, you idiot.
That's right. I beg your pardon. I'll be sitting next to you. You'll be talking about masturbation.
Jacques Cousteau crap in the ocean. Yeah, what kind of thinking is that, Drew? It's your bread and butter, that sex TV.
Blame it on the CDs.
Yeah, blame it on something else. And let me tell you something. See, Drew has triplets, and they're the product of in vitro fertilization. So you really have a nice technical out when your kids approach you with the, did you and mommy have sex? Absolutely not.
No.
It was in a clinical setting. Dad whacked off into a Dixie Riddle cup. Mom had some eggs harvested. I mean, you could really freak them out, but good. But it wouldn't involve Daddy getting on top of Mommy.
No.
All right.
Anyway, she's greatly relieved when I let her talk about it, so...
Yeah, really?
It worked out okay. She thought it was kissing. That's what sex is.
It's a special hug.
Yeah.
That's what it is in our house.
Amy.
Yes.
Hey, you're 26. You're on with Bad Religion.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
Hi.
Well, I have this question for you guys, Dr. Drew and Adam.
Mm-hmm.
And my question is that I have got an ex-boyfriend that's going to show up here next month who I haven't seen in 4 years, and he doesn't know I have a boyfriend.
Well, he must assume you have a life. It's been 4 years.
He knows that I had a boyfriend, but he also thinks that we broke up.
Why?
Well, because I told him that we did.
Okay, well, there you go.
Well,
So
but
what's the problem?
this could be a new boyfriend, right?
No, it's the same one.
I know, but he doesn't. Does he know it's the same one?
Yeah, because I have a child by him.
Uh-huh.
But the question is why did you tell him you didn't have a boyfriend?
Well, we did break up.
Oh, so
I did kick him out. He's not living here anymore, but we are still together.
Amy?
Yes.
You sound a little chaotic
Yeah,
with the
should we
broke
bet?
up, kicked him out. I got a son, or I have a child. We're not married. I didn't tell him about it. He's coming back in to stay. Hang on a second, Amy.
There's a betting opportunity here.
One of the hallmarks of effed up is when a lot of people are staying with people. That is a through line for all the effed up people we talk to, where they go, my uncle, yeah, he comes down the hall sometime. It's like, when he lives with, yeah. Who else? My aunt and their kids and my neighbors, who are not technically my neighbors because they live with us now. I mean, I don't even want to live with myself. I swear to God. I couldn't imagine. Could you imagine, Drew?
No.
Could you imagine uncles and aunts and old boyfriends and old girlfriends? It's just a ton of chaos. But Amy seems to need
Thrive
this.
on it. Oh, yes.
Yeah, because why is this guy coming to stay with them when she has a new guy and she can't tell him, and she's starting to sort of set the chaos table?
Yes.
All right, we're going to take a break. We're with one of the few bands that I think can successfully gamble on this show.
Okay.
As you know, we gamble on people's past to figure out why they're acting the way they are in the present. And usually, when we have groups like Black Grape on here and the gambling...
cheese. What? Oh,
It's hard to understand them through the Abba Zaba.
The gambling goes something like this. I always set it up in no uncertain terms. I go, listen, boys, here's what we're doing. From this show, we've learned that people's past seem to affect their future and their present. So, what happened in Amy's childhood? What kind of family did she grow up with? What was her environment like during the formative years that brought her to act this way in 1998? She don't get along with her mates.
She's having a bad day.
Brilliant!
She's having a bad go of it.
There was no more pints at the pub.
Brilliant.
It's great. Then we
The
go.
teeth weren't fixed properly.
All right, Governor. We're going to take a little break, and then we're going to come back, and we're going to gamble with the gambling ban on Amy after this.
Loveline. Be right back in a minute.
Bad Religion is here. Craig, Jay, and Brian are all here. Drew isn't here. Hey, Drew. Yeah. Sorry to tear you away from that, but it's time to start the show. Phone number, 1-800-LOVE-191. Now, when we laughed off, we were speaking to Amy. Amy?
Yes, I'm here.
You're 26.
Yes.
So let's just get a little more information before the gambling begins, all right?
Okay.
You have a child?
Yes.
One child?
Two.
Two. From the same guy?
Just woke up. Nope, two different men.
Two different men. Ah, see?
Guys, maybe I should say.
Right. And one of the fathers you're living with, though, right?
Nope, I kicked him out.
Oh, kicked him out. I thought you kicked the other guy out.
Nope.
Why'd you kick him out?
When?
Why?
He was hitting you?
No, well, that too, yeah, but it was, I was tired of his other girlfriends.
Oh, okay. That's
No
enough.
more. That's it. Go ahead. This guy is an asshole.
You want me to go first?
Sure. I'll
Okay.
go last. You go first.
All right. This is going to be tough because
Well, nobody has money out there.
there's some education in this room. Oh, Drew, you went for the quarters last
That's all
night.
I have.
Oh, that's all I have. I got dollars. I got a lot of... Ooh, it's a 20 in there. Jesus
20?
Christ. I quit the show if I find another 20 in here. Okay. All right. What's Canadian 5? The band has put plastic out there. Do you guys need some dollars? Seriously.
No, we're okay.
You are?
I think.
Well, I'm not seeing any cash.
Hold on.
That's money.
All right.
Greg, you need a dollar?
I have a dollar.
You have a dollar?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I'll do it.
All right.
I have a real dollar.
All right. Good. We're good.
Not a Canadian.
All right. Shall I go first?
Sure.
Let's see. It's a pretty formidable adversaries here. There's a lot of IQ and testosterone
Make it
pumped in this room.
real specific.
Yeah. Well, I know she had a guy who hit her, so I know she was probably pushed around a little when she was younger, although she did kick him out. But there was some philandering going on, too. I'm going to say that her dad did a little fool around on Mom, and was physically abusive, but not sexually.
Okay.
Is that good?
Any other details about Dad?
He used to wear
All right.
a
fedora.
No, he had a belt buckle of the state of Texas. It was shaped in. It was actually marginally larger than Texas, though.
Keep on trucking on it.
Yeah. All right, Jay, you want to go? Greg?
Yeah, I got some coherent ideas.
Okay.
I'm going to suggest that Amy doesn't know her father very well.
Uh-huh.
And
where'd he go?
Did he leave?
Yeah, I think he was just out of the picture at a very young age.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't believe there was any violence, though.
No violence.
I think she just doesn't know who her dad is.
Dad abandoned the family?
Yeah.
Early?
And she has a real, very early.
Mm-hmm.
And so she has a hard time conceptualizing what a man is supposed to be in a relationship.
Right. Interesting. I may revise mine to Dad did split early and Stepdad did some of the thumping on her.
Well, go ahead.
And the playing around.
What do you want to do?
No, I'm going to go with biological dad.
Was physically abusive and what else?
Played around.
Okay,
And cheat.
I don't see abuse, but I think that the dad did own a van.
Oh, yeah. That's good. That's very solid.
Van or trailer?
Yeah. He was mobile.
What else about him? Anything?
But I don't see abuse. I agree with Greg on this. I don't see physical abuse.
What do you say?
I think absentee is more appropriate.
Give him another detail so you can separate yourself from Greg.
What color was the van?
Well, I already have the van. Oh, brown.
Okay, brown.
Yeah.
Sort of burnt orange?
Well, no. It's actually a 1977 Dodge Street Van.
Ooh, nice.
It says Street Van, the logo thing.
An F truck.
Kragers or center lines?
Kragers.
Okay.
Wait, let's just make this clear though. Brian hasn't really specified if father was gone at a young age.
Pick the date. Pick the age.
Yeah, I'm going to say by the age of 2. This guy.
Oh no! I think like 11, 12.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, there's time to.
Perfect.
Okay. So I'll agree with you that Dad left early, and Mom had multiple boyfriends.
Mm-hmm.
So Mom cheated.
No, not during. She just had boyfriends after
multiple guys coming through.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Any stepdads do her wrong?
Well, she doesn't seem too interested in marriage. So marriage isn't something that she seems that seems to come into play here. She's got 2 kids and hasn't been married.
Okay, a lot of
She's
boyfriends.
got a lot of boyfriends.
Solid, Drew.
I'm going to say that Amy is an exact replica of Mom.
Mm-hmm.
Precise.
Okay.
And meaning Amy is a product of some non-married something that came through, and the males that she was raised around, whether it was actually her biological father or not, were physically abusive. And I think I'm picking up a drug addiction here in everybody.
In the family?
Everybody.
And I forgot to mention the possibility of alien abduction.
Okay. Write that down.
Make sure you
write that down.
Your dollar's gone, Jay.
Amy?
Yes.
It's a big pot here.
Yeah, I think you're going to get it, Drew. Adam,
Oh,
sorry.
wow.
Adam.
Yeah. What do we got? What do we got, baby?
Well, none of you are really right, but...
She's just going to give it to you anyway.
First of all, I have to tell you, my father listens to your show.
Sorry.
How's the van running?
Well, he has a minivan now.
Thank you. 50 cents to Brian.
Not a Dodge, he's a definite Ford man.
Flip it over and read the directions.
With the big belt buckle.
First on race day.
Oh, Adam.
Mm-hmm.
But, no, my parents are still together.
I'm really surprised.
Yeah, we all lost.
Well, wait a minute. I didn't. I had Dad was.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
Dad was abusive. Dad ever raise a hand to you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
The last time he raised his hand was, I think I was about 16, and he choked me.
Yeah. Is it all? It's all that. That's the whole deal here.
That's not physical abuse. Choking, is it, Drew? I thought it was more spanking or paddling.
It's a love choke.
Choking.
Did you guys ever watch The Simpsons?
No alcoholics. No drug and alcohol here.
My father is a recovering alcoholic.
Okay. How about Mom?
Mom is a martyr.
Mom's a codependent.
Mm-hmm.
Now, all right. Well, hold on a second here. Now, do you have was your dad ever a traditional dad? I mean, do you have a good image of what a partner should be, a male partner should be in a family?
My father is absolutely wonderful, but where you guys were saying.
Other than the choking,
and then the physically abuse and choking.
I don't
part.
think that he really knew how. I can't make excuses for him, but I don't think he knew how to control his anger.
Right. I mean, there's no excuse for a parent striking a child. Period. That people like. Sorry, but it's not a good person.
Well, no, there is an excuse.
That's a flawed person.
There's an excuse in that.
Alcohol?
No, that's not an excuse.
It's an explanation.
There's an excuse that they're children themselves. In other words, they don't have the skills to understand what it means to be a parent. And that is an excuse.
It's an explanation. I can't excuse it. I just can't excuse it. And to me, to say he's a wonderful man, but is excusing it, and I can't excuse it.
Hey, Amy?
Yes.
Did he do any philandering?
No, not my father.
Mom did?
No. The absentee part comes in where he was always working.
Is he a truck driver or something?
No, actually, he has a regular job, but it's 3 to 11, so
You wouldn't see him.
I would come home from school and never saw him, except, when I was naughty. Come here, sweetie.
When you were naughty? Uh-huh. Were you raped at a young age or something?
I was molested by my brother.
Yeah,
oh,
there we go.
Oh, we all missed out on the
I'm gonna
sexual
throw
abuse.
butter
Now, that's after the fact. I think I get the pot for the physical abuse dad who was still around.
Yeah.
Right?
I think Adam gets it.
Yeah.
Thank you, baby.
Now, who abused your brother sexually?
I don't know. I've never talked to him about it.
How old were you when that started happening, like 11 or so?
No, actually, I think I was about 4. I didn't even remember it until I was 14.
This is your biological brother?
Biologically by my mother.
Half-brother.
Yes.
Where is his father?
His father's around. I just saw him on Christmas.
Doesn't this make Amy what her mom is?
Hold on a second.
Isn't that what
I
I
can
said?
feel the money slipping from my grubby fingers as we speak. Now, wait a second. Somebody was saying that you said...
Amy's a reproduction of mom.
You said that Amy's a reproduction of her mom, that, as we all know, Amy has 2 kids from 2 different guys. She's unmarried. And then when Drew posed that question to her, she said, my parents are married, they've always been married, and they're still together to this day. Which was confusing, but now it seems there was another guy and another kid, which is starting to be a little more like Amy in the present.
I think that I have a right to some of the money. Because,
why?
Because it's clear she doesn't have a clear understanding of what a father's supposed to be.
All right, but that falls under the no-duh category. I mean, you can't get money back from that. Please, I heard you trying to spoon-feed her your answers like some witness. Like you're an Athlete Bailey or something.
Well, let's remember the purpose of the bag, other than to... It's not to make fun of the individual. It's to really show how reproducible people's present are based on their past experiences.
Well, Amy,
physical abuse was absolutely no question. She had physical abuse. No doubt. Absolutely. That had to have been there. Abandoning dad, not a surprise. Alcoholic dad, I called that. You can. Amy, you've got a little momentum with alcohol yourself, right?
No, actually, I was a chemical dependency counselor for over 2 years.
Because
I knew I didn't want to get into alcohol and drugs.
Because
what it did to my family.
You never got into it in the first place?
Well, in junior high, I smoked pot.
Well, wait, that may not count.
I'm just saying you had some momentum with substances.
All right, well, let me just wrap this up by saying, where is the original dad from your brother, and what was the situation behind that?
Well, Mom was married to him. They had 5 kids.
Oh, see, now it's making sense, yeah?
Got a divorce.
Right.
Had me and married my dad.
Uh-huh. And it was that guy, your half-brother, who molested you?
Yes.
One of those.
Yep.
One of them. Okay. All right, Amy.
You didn't answer my question, guys.
What is it?
What about this boyfriend?
Yes.
That's what she wants to know.
Yes.
Listen, you got to tell the guy you're with now what's going on.
He knows.
He does?
Yeah, he's a jerk. I don't care what he thinks.
None of these guys, there's no way that any of these guys are any good for you. None of them. Start over. Clean slate. Shake the Etch-a-Sketch, as Adam would say.
Yeah.
Really. All this is chaos. Every one of them. Anybody that you're attracted to or that's attracted to you right now is trouble.
You understand that, Amy?
You're still acting out in a big way.
And Amy,
how do I get over it?
Well, you got to get into some therapy. You got to get into some counseling. You have to do some work, especially on behalf of your kids. Come on, Mama.
Counselor, you have these cognitive insight in how this all works.
Absolutely.
You need a connect. Why don't you go to Al-Anon and get a connected relationship with a sponsor and get some feedback on your behavior, and with that relationship, perhaps growing to the point that you can trust some of your attraction to males and maybe develop a relationship that has some potential for stability.
It just breaks my heart when you have someone who comes from such chaos, who has a couple of infants on their knee, and you know that these kids are like sponges, and they got this guy coming in, and they got that guy coming in, and they got this guy smacking mom, and that guy being tossed out of the house, and old boyfriend crossing paths with new boyfriend. It's just chaos. Stop it, everybody. Stop the chaos. And if you're going to have chaos, at least just let it rain on you. Don't rub it all over your kids. Do you want your kids damned to this same life that you've led? It's pathetic, but that's what they're going to do. All right. So I get my $5, and I think that's the important part.
I still think I get $1 for the van.
Yeah, I should have $1
Minivan in the present.
I'll take 50 cents.
Hold on. Wait 1 second. Amy? Did you used to drive a van back in the day?
Yep, a brown one.
Oh, God. Oh, you bitch.
Don't call me a bitch.
I can't help it. They got $2 now.
Brown.
Amy, you're great.
Hang in there. I'm going to come over there and kick you in the ass if you don't get some therapy.
Do better, though.
Take care of those kids, would you?
Absolutely.
Stop exposing them to all that chaos.
Hang in there. You have real potential.
Should have never gone back to her. Never.
You went
brown van.
You went right back for it, didn't you?
All right, we're going to take a break. Bad Religion is here. I'm going to go kick the vending machine with frustration. Drew, hang your head, buddy. You get like a quarter. I'll give you like 50 cents back. And whose nickel's that?
It was mine.
Oh, no, not mine.
I put in $1.05.
Okay, lucky that wasn't yours, Drew.
What tax? You did.
Well, I was trying to get 106.7.
We'll be back.
Loveline with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew. Phone number's 1-800-LOVE.
They're waiting for Greg to come back? Where's Greg?
We fly on airplanes a lot. We know this one.
Yeah, 6'2", 210. Let him sit down.
That's a window seat right there.
I see.
Uh-huh. I wish you showed me that kind of respect, Drew. What are you waiting on?
I'm just having a funny feeling about how long it's been since we've been on a plane, and then suddenly a sense of dread grabbed me.
You know, it was,
like we're going to be on a plane again together.
You know, it was really weird. I had this dream about being on a plane last night, except for, and I swear to God this is true, it was not a plane, it was a modified brown van. I swear it was a van.
More sense.
And I remember bitching and complaining because I was thinking...
you complaining while we're traveling? No. Wow, what a stretch that dream is.
You're prescient.
Drew knows I have two modes when we travel. It's complaining or drugged, or actually, and then a sort of belligerent drugged complaining, which is the third.
There's
third
droning.
One. There's droning on.
Droning on, which is actually the most bothersome for me.
You know, the greatest is when we were doing, what was it, Jenny Jones? We're going to Chicago, and I was all drugged up in the airport at 7 in the morning, and they told us we weren't flying first class.
Adam had a tizzy fit.
I had a fit, and I left.
Did they throw you out of the airport?
No, he was like, it's like Zsa Zsa Gabor not getting her way.
Yeah, like when Zsa Zsa couldn't get her poodle up in first class with her. It was great.
You need to come on the road with us.
Yeah.
I took a I don't need to fly first class, but when they tell you they're flying you first class,
You get excited. You get a napkin.
And you get there.
and you get there and they tell you you're going, Coach, I just turned around and said, thank you, I'm going back to bed, and I started walking out of the airport. It worked
it was not thank you.
All right, I yelled for a while, and then I started to walk out of the airport.
Stamped his feet.
All right, but what happened, Drew?
You got first class and I flew in coach.
That's right, buddy. That is so right. You see what happens?
But
see the squeaky wheel,
talk
everybody.
about karma or whatever you want to call it. I flew in the back of the plane where there was nobody. I could lie down on a bench of seats. Adam's crammed into those lousy Super 80 first-class seats.
True.
You guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's
First class
cocktail on your shirt.
That's what we call
lamb fur.
It was
covering.
rough. Yeah, the champagne was way too dry. It was horrible. They showed a Ted Danson movie. It was horrible.
We have to be something, back east somewhere like by noontime. We finish this thing at midnight. We got to get to the airport at 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And, that's painful.
Oh, talk about Ithaca.
That's why we have a road manager.
For us. Greg's from Ithaca, or Greg lives in Ithaca now, but for us to do a college lecture at Ithaca, and in order to get on stage by 7 o'clock that night, and to do this show the night before, we have to get picked up at about 5 from our house, and it's nothing but travel, and then you hit the stage, and you don't know where you are.
Are you going through Pittsburgh?
Yeah,
We've been there. We did Pittsburgh. It was great.
On the way? On the way there.
Yeah, we went through Syracuse. We landed in
Syracuse, but we must have went and
we must car for 3 hours after that. Remember?
Oh yeah,
you drove?
It's only 50 miles.
Drove from Syracuse to Ithaca.
Syracuse, it was only 50 miles.
Yeah, but we had a limo driver.
Windy
driving
roads.
12 miles an hour.
Oh,
12 miles an hour.
Easily.
Give me a call.
18-wheel trucks passing us.
Call Greg. He'll come.
Remember that one? That was when you were screaming at the driver. Same day.
It really doesn't sound like me, Drew. Terry,
Yeah?
you're 23.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Oh, God. Okay. I've been taking Prozac and lithium for over 3 to maybe 4 months. And I don't understand why I have to take 2
two kinds of pills like
Is
that.
that how Peter Lorre would say lithium? Lithium.
Think of it as the lithium being sort of a bridle, something that keeps your mood from going too high or too low.
Yeah.
And that your tendency is to be too low.
Yeah.
And so the Prozac kind of lifts it up a little bit while the lithium keeps it from the lid blowing off on the high side.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you need both typically. Now, that's an interesting combination.
Yeah.
No, a common combination.
Well,
but
wait a minute. There's a lot of people on Prozac who aren't on lithium.
Correct.
Are there a lot of people who are on lithium who aren't on Prozac?
My experience has been most people that are on lithium are on some sort of antidepressant also, and she's bipolar. She's manic depressive, right, Terry?
Yeah. Oh my God, yeah.
And this day and age, there's a greater, seems to be a greater interest or perhaps prevalence of use of what are called mood stabilizing medications, like Depakote or Tegretol, things like that. And they ever use those sort of medicines on you?
No.
Okay. I mean, that would be the alternative to lithium. Is something lithium though is time honored. I mean, people have been using that for a long time. It's a pretty safe medication.
Yeah.
And if it's helping you, I mean, it's important to take these things because this is a biology that you've inherited and it's going, and it's going to operate if you're not on the medication.
Yeah. I understand. And I have another question. Is I drank alcohol like 3 weeks ago, and oh my God, I got really, really, really sick, like to the point where I almost blacked out.
Were you in Tijuana?
No.
That happened to me. Like 8 times, really. Should have learned my lesson.
You mean you were intoxicated to the point that you nearly blacked out, or you just got sick and nearly passed out?
I just drank so much that my friends next door had to help me out.
Do you have a history of that sort of thing?
Huh?
Do you have a history of alcohol excess?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, maybe you're alcoholic too. I mean, alcoholics have a higher incidence of bipolar than the general population. So, I mean, that needs to be treated differently than your mood disturbance. It's a separate disorder, and it's important that be treated thoroughly, okay?
Okay.
All right,
you married?
I was married to, but not. I left him. I dumped him in the valley.
Good man. A woman. You got kids?
I have one little boy. I live with my parents right now.
All right. Good. They gave you that bipolar condition. Now they're going to pay.
Yep.
and alcoholism.
And alcoholism. Great.
No, I don't think I have a problem with alcoholism, though. I'm not an alcoholic. I just the problem is.
I'm not going to make a diagnosis over the phone, but it sounds suspicious, Terry. So whoever's prescribing the medication, discuss it with him. All right.
All right, Terry.
All right, then.
Take care of Junior.
Get your levels down on your lithium.
Here's the real payback if you're a parent that doesn't do a great job is your kid ends up living with you about 8 years longer than they should. So it does sort of come back to haunt you a little bit. Plus, you got to bail them out of jail, put them through rehab.
Pay for damaged cars.
I think the real move, and this is what I'm going to do when I'm a parent, which is I'm either going north or south. I'm not going to straddle the fence, meaning if I'm going to be a bad parent, I'm going to be horrible. And the kid's on it. The kid can go through rehab. The kid can go through jail. I'm not going to hire an attorney. I mean, I'm just going to be the world's worst parent, and they're completely on their own. Or I'm going to be a good parent and not let them get in trouble in the first place. But what you don't want to be is in between, which is sort of bad, who screws them up, but then you have a turnaround somewhere in life, and now you're just bailing them out, putting them through rehab, buying them cars after they wrap them around telephone poles, getting them out of DUIs and all that nonsense.
Thanks, Mom.
Ryan?
Yeah, hello?
You're 17.
Yeah.
What's going on?
I just have a question for Bad Religion. How did you guys get discovered?
Well, we never really were discovered. We sort of used the band as a way to escape the high school society that we were in back in 1980, and we just sort of stuck together and were able to release our own records through a generous loan from our guitar player at the time, or his dad, actually.
Thanks, Richard.
And his name is Richard. And we were able to start a little enterprise on our own, and the discovery just came from us playing live shows, and people, we built up a following over time.
Did you play when you were still in high school? Did you have gigs?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Every, 2 weeks.
What places were you playing in high school?
The underground punk clubs in L.A., places like the Hong Kong Cafe, which was a restaurant, and every Tuesday night they had punk night.
Right.
After hours.
What was the one that was it looked like a garage just outside of downtown on Sunset?
Jiffy Lube.
The Anti-Club?
No. There's an Anti-Club.
We played there.
We played there. And
then Godzilla's out in the valley for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, these were weird offbeat places that played our kind of music, and we were lucky that there was, there was a very happening underground music
The
scene.
only valley venues I can remember was the Country Club in Reseda.
I rocked the Country Club.
Have you? I saw Oingo Boingo there, and I saw the Bus Boys there.
Yeah,
remember that?
Well, that was a little too established for us in the early days.
Yeah, I'd say it was pretty good.
But luckily, we had our guitar player and Jay both had vans, and Jay had a little pickup truck, so we were able to drive far and wide all over L.A.
Wow. We played the Mabuhay Gardens in San Francisco.
Yeah, we made road trips to San Francisco and Vegas and San Diego, and so.
Where'd you play in Vegas?
It was a strip mall that had like a little abandoned store that someone had built a stage in.
Wow.
And if you ask me the name of the club, they called it something.
The thing that's weird about Vegas is it's all the glitz and the glamour and the big bucks and everything, but as soon as you get a quarter mile off that main drag, it gets real dicey, really fast.
Well, you say strip mall has all kinds of connotation there.
And there's a lot of weird, like, kind of industrial parks with, like, strip joints in it, and they're dark, and they're seedy, and they're
part of the meth belt.
As,
is that right?
As glamorous.
The buckle of the meth belt.
Is that right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it gets really dicey really fast there.
Yeah.
Hey, Ryan?
Yeah.
Anything else?
Well, I don't know. I'm just wondering because my friend's in a band, and they're pretty good. They're from the East Bay, and I'm just wondering, he's always wondering how he can, how they can get the band to be a little bit bigger.
Put out a CD.
Yeah, CDs
and
are
go on tour.
CDs are really easy to manufacture these days. They're easier than when we were young. It was really hard to make a record. We had to go and find studio time, and then you had to find a record pressing, vinyl pressing facility. Now you can do it if you know someone of your friends who has a computer. You can burn CDs nowadays because the CD burners are so affordable, and you can record them on hard disks, right, Brian?
Absolutely.
Brian just bought a hard disk recorder. Things have become so affordable, and it's easier than ever to manufacture your own music.
Yeah, tell them to find an inexpensive studio with ADATs or something that they can do maybe 10 or 15 songs on, and then in the East Bay and San Francisco, try a place called Vaughn Communications to make CDs.
Yeah, that's another thing. The manufacturers who make the CDs today are everywhere, and they're so much cheaper than we.
Yeah, they might cost you like $1 each.
$1 each, and you can have your own CD and bring it to the local record store.
I can remember when, if you were on a CD, it was a big deal. Like, you'd go to the record store, and they'd have the Beatles on CD, but you'd go, "You got any Graham Parker?" And they'd be like,
"Yeah,
come on. He's not CD material.
Compact disc
He's
here.
not CD-worthy, please."
It was all vinyl back then.
Yeah, and it took a while. I mean, there was that transition, probably, I don't know, 81 to like 88 or something.
No,
where
it wasn't until 89.
To be honest with you, it was a really short time because we were running Epitaph, still doing vinyl. When we started doing CDs, and the change was about 2 years. We went from 90% vinyl and 10% CDs to 100% CDs.
But it seemed to me, I was waiting for like Led Zeppelin to get all of their stuff on CD.
The catalog stuff was different because record companies were battling with the thought: would people actually go out and buy their entire collection again on CDs?
Would they buy the old catalog?
They didn't want to spend the money at the time. CDs were really expensive to make back then. They're cheap now, but back then they were $225, $250 a pop.
Interesting.
Consequently, I don't know if you noticed this, but joints got smaller because when you're trying to take the seeds and the stems out of the weed on a CD case, you really have to work.
It doesn't work, does it?
You have to work with a jeweler's loop. It's really tough.
Surgical instruments.
Yeah, I mean, in a well-lit environment, in a sterile environment, it's not like... God knows what used to go on the covers of records. And the double records, forget about it.
Yeah.
The guy doing coke on this side, the other guy rolling the doobie on that side.
The gatefold sleeve.
The double live.
Josh.
Yeah.
What's going on?
My question is, will pot stunt your growth?
I don't know of any evidence that that's the case. I have theorized that it might affect your genital development because it does suppress estrogen, rather increase estrogen levels and suppress testosterone.
Okay, and Bad Religion, You kick butt.
Yeah.
Favorite band.
Thanks a lot.
He got his answer. Hey, listen, he's not kidding. You're young and you're still developing.
Yeah.
Yeah, be careful with the pot.
You don't want to be a teenager with an infantile peni.
Yeah, Adam.
Huh.
Where do you get all these jokes?
The catalog right in front of me.
You are hilarious.
I'm on page 293, and it's only a 400-page book,
If you'd like
so
to
we
read
may
along.
be out of show in about 9 months.
Okay.
All right, Josh.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.
If you get off the weed, I won't be so funny anymore, believe me.
78 minutes he was hanging on for that question.
Josh is 14 and on the weed. You give him about 3 years and no weed. You think I'm going to be funny? No.
He didn't say you were funny now.
That's true. I just want to know where I got him. Wherever you got him, I want you to kick that guy in the nuts. Those are horrible.
Kenny,
you're 15.
Hey, what's up?
Hey.
My question is this. All right. My girlfriend gets depressed, and instead of talking about it or something, she cuts herself up.
Is she into Marilyn Manson?
No.
Oh.
So she's a cutter.
Yeah.
All right. What's the question?
I don't know what the hell's going on with that. I mean, what is?
Well, that people that do that have severe psychological problems. It is an expression of some very, very powerful feelings that can't be managed any other way.
But Drew,
what?
Let me ask this. Is that its own separate problem? Can you be mildly depressed and cut on yourself, or is that just an extreme expression of depression?
You're asking a pretty complicated question. It is more than not an expression of character disturbance than the magnitude of the depression.
So there could be people that were more depressed than a guy who's cutting on himself.
Absolutely. It suggests she's had a lot of stuff happen during her life, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's that.
She had a couple of boyfriends that smacked her around.
Well, but she had parents that smacked her around.
Oh, way before that.
Parents that smacked her around and abused her and abandoned her and that kind of
It
stuff.
sort of turns out that you're going to get to yourself before someone else gets to you.
You know what it's like? Is
that what it turns out to be?
That's the way, when I've talked to some of these people that have some degree of recovery, that's the way they describe it. It's just and I'm just thinking about it just now. It's a regressive act, just the way like little kids start like wetting their bed and stuff when they don't have other ways to manage their feelings. They sort of symptoms develop that just they don't make sense, but they're just symptoms of these regressive states that people get stuck
But
in.
isn't some of that an issue of a person's control? If maybe they feel out of control with their life, if they cut themselves, they go, I can control this.
Right. It's that kind of thing. It's more about. It's pretty complicated, but it's about releasing tension.
Don't tell that. Don't say that. It's so condescending. You know.
Well, the reason
pretty complicated, you band guys.
No, I mean it's complicated, more complicated.
There's a lot of big words involved with the description.
F sharp.
It's more complicated than I could describe in a simple. I'm not in a way that's understandable. Just sitting here talking about.
Kenny, you got your hands full, buddy. You really do. I mean, I don't know what advice to give you. If you love her, be there for her. But I can tell you, you're going to have a tough road to hoe with her.
Make sure she's in treatment.
Can you do that?
Make sure she's in treatment?
Yeah.
Well, what exactly? I mean, she says it's not a problem, but I mean, this thing is freaking me out.
It just is a symptom. Don't try to make sense of it or explain it because it's not from a rational part of the brain. It's a behavior that is symptomatic of some significant emotional problems, and just accept that.
Justin.
Hey.
You're 18.
How's it going?
Good.
I got a two-part question for you.
All right.
First off, it's both related to my girlfriend. First, when I ejaculate inside her, it burns her for a good half hour afterwards.
She's seen a gynecologist?
Yes, and she checked out completely normal.
Do they think she's allergic to your semen?
Well, that question hadn't been brought up. Actually, when she saw the gynecologist, she didn't bring it up.
Okay.
We kind of assumed something probably would have been found anyway.
Yeah,
She's
if there were an
she's going back to check.
All right.
But, yeah, I mean, we've thought about that possibility.
Mm-hmm. Does it happen if you wear a condom?
No.
Why don't you wear a condom?
Well, yes, obviously. But she just went on birth control.
All right.
That was kind of to eliminate that whole need. That may be what we end up doing.
Okay.
But, of course, if it ever gets long enough along the road, that obviously will present a problem in childbirth.
What is your second? Not necessarily. What is your second question?
Well, I just mean actually getting there. But my second part is, it's a little bit deeper thing. She's never been capable of having an orgasm.
She's
wow,
18.
her crotch is on fire. Could you blame her?
Yeah, I knew you'd probably say something like that, but that way preceded the first. I mean, this wasn't in chronological order. The question.
Are you expecting her to have an orgasm during intercourse?
Yes.
Get over that.
To get over that expectation.
Well,
I wish my dad would have sat me down and explained that to me. Listen, save your pumping for the dance floor, son, because
Not gonna happen.
you're not going to get the big O there. No.
Well, I mean, we've done plenty of other things, and nothing's ever brought her to it with me or with any of her previous experiences.
Can she do it to herself?
No, and it's not me that it worries me about.
We're not attacking.
Justin,
we're not attacking you. We're attacking your penis.
Maybe as it's just like a lot of behaviors. You got to learn how to do it. It's
Right.
It's not purely physiological.
Yeah.
She has to learn how to do it.
And at 18, as a female, she's sort of, right on the cusp. I mean,
Sure.
a lot of women have difficulty with this, or earlier in life. It's not like guys. And you perform oral sex on her, right?
Yeah, I do.
And how's that going?
She likes it. She actually prefers the finger thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And so you give her the finger thing?
Yeah.
It's weird, but as you get older, you stray away from the finger thing.
Yeah, I have
I use the finger sexually to work the remote on the VCR. That's the only thing I use my finger for. I really do. I've not put my hand in a woman in like 10 years. I don't know where you get over the finger thing, but somewhere around like 26, 27. You still do the finger thing?
You have to be in a band.
Oh, yeah? You got to get in a band to do that?
You play an instrument, and that's what your fingers are just it.
Oh, I guess so, yeah. Yeah, I for me, it's either oral sex or it's fornication, but the finger thing...
All right.
What, Drew? You know what I'm saying, right?
I'm saying enough of that. But, the deal is, at 18, many women have not yet achieved an orgasm or have difficulty doing so, and she needs to begin to understand what sort of emotional place she needs to put herself in order for that normal physiology to take care of itself. And it's tougher. Yeah, it's tougher for women than men. It really is about establishing an intimate, safe place. And then this thing kind of takes care of itself. But do not expect anything during intercourse.
So, Justin, here's the deal. Don't push so hard. Don't take it personally.
I'm not.
Don't.
It's her that I'm worried about.
I know, but it's that attitude that's going to sort of stifle her.
Sure.
Because you're putting... You may not be putting the pressure on yourself, but you're putting it on her, and then she's sort of pushing it back on you. You have too much wrapped up in this. Just let her discover herself, figure out what she likes when she's on her own, and then you can just go ahead and apply that to her. It's really hard to have a woman have an orgasm when she has not had one and does not know herself. She's got to figure out what she likes, and then she'll tell you.
And furthermore, it's a real private thing, so if she knows that he's watching her every move and expecting her to have one, then it's going to be
it doesn't let her relax enough to be able to do it.
Yeah.
Let's not discount the searing pain.
Right, she's burning too.
Right.
We started from. So.
Meanwhile, guys can have another 11 guys from the bachelor party yelling, jizz, 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 jizz. And it doesn't seem to break their concentration at all.
No.
It's great. All right. Bad Religion is here, and we'll be back.
Loveline, Madam Carolla and Dr. Drew. The phone number's 1-800-LOVE-191.
We'll be right back.
30 seconds.
On 92.1 KFMA.
Hey, it's Loveline. Bad Religion is hanging out with us tonight. No Substance is the name of the CD. We're going to hear something else off of that coming up pretty soon. We, until then, are going to get back to the phones. Phone number, 1-800-LOVE-191. Ian.
Yes.
Hey, you're 21.
Yes, sir.
What's going on?
I've got a comment for Dr. Drew.
Yeah.
Okay. As far as the self-mutilation goes, or cutting yourself, you're partially right and partially not. It is somewhat complicated, but then again, it's also very simple.
Well, let me describe to you. I wasn't being very clear about what this is. It's a way of managing feelings. That is to say, your feelings become overwhelming, and this creates a release and a rush and a euphoria that sometimes help people manage their feelings.
Oh, I know.
Now,
I've been there.
Now, why they choose that particular act, there are all sorts of theories as to what it means.
Well, I can tell you what I was going through. I mean, it basically...
Go ahead.
It translates the emotional pain into a physical pain, which is a lot easier to deal with.
Sure, it externalizes a little bit.
And from there, it becomes an adrenaline rush, and you forget all about it.
Now, people who are alcoholic prone actually have more... They get more payoff from this. They get more of euphoria, and it helps them even more than just the average person. Do you have alcoholism in your family somewhere?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so that's what I would predict. Those are the people that really use it as a way of managing feelings. For some people, non-alcoholics, some of the symbolic meaning sometimes is more important than the actual feeling they get from doing it.
How'd you stop cutting on yourself, Ian?
Found somebody who cared about me.
Really?
Mm-hmm. All it takes is the love of a good woman. Someone who actually just felt like, they just care about you enough to where it's like, my God, I'm actually worth something.
Well, certainly feeling worthwhile is very important.
How long you been with this woman?
Well, that was someone I had actually, to tell you the truth, I'd met her over the computer. I have no contact with her anymore, but now I'm married to someone also very wonderful.
Okay.
Would you meet her over the fax or something?
No, actually, we work for the same company.
Okay. All right. Ian, good luck. Don't cut on yourself anymore.
I haven't done it for years.
Thanks for the feedback.
All right.
Drew, you got a call figured out there?
That we do.
You want to play a song?
Yeah.
I'm trying to work out the timing here. Okay, let's do that. This is from No Substance, from Bad Religion, and this one is called Hear It. Ah, yes. Hear It from Bad Religion off of No Substance. Drew?
Yep.
All right. You with us?
Yep.
All right. Where are you going there, Drew? Somewhere?
Important legal documents.
We'll be right back.
Spencer.
Yeah.
You're 25.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Not much. I just wanted to have a few questions with Bad Religion.
All right, then.
Fire when ready, Gridley.
Okay. Okay, I know I dug you guys since, back in high school, and I was curious, with Jay, what type of bass do you play?
Right now?
Yeah.
On stage or in the studio?
Both.
Well, he only owns two, so...
One is for stage and one's for the studio.
I use a Fender P-Bass in the studio, and I play a Schecter Telly on stage.
Really?
Why do you play a different one?
Different sounds. You get a better sound out of
No, wait.
Shut up.
Let me clear this up.
No.
The Schecter looks cool. The P-Bass does not look cool. It's brown. It has a maple neck.
So on stage, you want to look
He
cool.
wants the cool bass, which is black.
Yeah. And in the studio, you pick the one with the best
that's not
action.
true. I played the Fender on stage for 10 years, and it's a really great guitar, and I started beating it up, and it was on the verge of destruction, and I really like the guitar, and I like it in the studio, so I'm saving it. So I carry it with me, but I play it in the studio, but I don't bring it out on stage because I tend to break things on stage.
Okay.
That's true. That's accurate.
One more question is, this one rumor I'd heard about, I guess, what is that, Interscope buying Epitaph. I wasn't sure about that or not.
Just a rumor.
Okay, because...
nothing right now is substantiated with that. I know it's...
just a rumor.
Yeah, there's a lot of things being said, but not true.
It's all boo.
How does it work when a bigger company buys a smaller record company?
It's called a corporate takeover.
Are they buying...
Wall Street Journal talks about it a lot.
Are they buying the acts that you have signed?
They buy everything.
They buy the catalog. They buy the acts that have contracts on
They buy the
on that
phone
label.
jacks.
They actually physically and on paper take over everything.
But a lot of bands, if you get one, you can sign it's essentially a key man in the contract, which says if the label gets taken over, they have the choice to stay or leave.
Adrian, what's going on?
Hey.
Hey.
Hi.
I was questions for Bad Religion.
Word.
All right. This past summer at the Warped Tour down there in Irvine, I was talking with Bobby a whole lot, and he was saying that the band only has like a few more years left in them because Greg's voice is going out.
Well,
it's not true.
Let's ask Dr. Drew. No,
I don't know.
What does singing have to do with age?
Or with rock music?
Yeah. No, there's no.
How old is Ozzy?
Listen, first of all, Bobby would, maybe you were talking to an imposter because Bobby rarely talks like that. I mean, could you imagine Bobby saying
It doesn't sound like Bobby would ever have a terminal date to say,
yeah, Bobby is...
Greg Graffin has 3.7 years left in his career.
Bobby, the big man in black.
Yeah.
That's him.
Look at Louis Armstrong.
I think...
Yeah.
I mean, we don't really look at the band as having a longevity because it's a process. It's like life itself. You don't think about if you're productive. You don't think about how many years can you produce. You just know that you're motivated to do it, and it's part of your life, and you continue it.
It's weird though in music, especially, and it's this way in almost any kind of performing, but even more so with bands. People love to sort of guess the life of it, and they love to see them come, and they love to see them go, and it's not that way in regular, as a doctor, no one asks you when you're going to hang it up, or as an accountant, or as a bank president, or whatever it is.
In sports, they certainly do, and there's a lot of parallels between a sports personality and bands, because people think that youth and vitality are the key elements in making you a viable operation.
Right.
So a sports team... As a sports hero gets older, they're always questioning: is he as fast? Is his vision as acute?
But there are always examples in music, whereas there's not in sports. I mean, there's no guy in the NFL that's in his mid 40s or early 50s. Warren Moon is like
George
42
Blanda.
or George
Blanda.
The oldest,
pulling the Blanda.
The oldest kicker, or the oldest player in the NFL, but he of course isn't with us anymore.
Yeah, George Blanda played he was like 47 or something like that.
Almost 50.
He was kicking.
Well, he
field
also
goals.
played quarterback once in a while.
Yeah.
He did.
Wayne Gretzky is
There you go, Wayne
39 or maybe 40 this year. And
But what I'm saying is there's Joe Cocker. There's no sort of guy who's I don't know what the hell Joe Cocker's looked 65 since 1957.
Bonnie Raitt's been around forever, and these people.
It seems to be that the guys, if they really want to hang out and they don't blow themselves out with heroin or what have you, can stick around for another 20 years longer than, let's say, an athlete would.
Right. And it's usually the bands and the artists who are internally motivated to make music and not so hung up on their career and their short-term success.
And it's funny, it's the ones that have been around for 20 years that they speculate the most about, which is sort of ridiculous because, hey, you guys have been around for 20 years. Where are you going? All right. The Stones will always be older than you guys. That's all you need to remember. Pete, no matter what happens, when you're 120, they're going to be 150. That's it. Pete, you're 22.
How you doing?
Good. What's going on?
I have a question for Dr. Drew.
Yeah.
Me and my girlfriend recently had anal sex, and I ejaculated into her, and I was just wondering if that could cause any kind of infection.
All right, we got to go to break.
We do?
Yeah. We do. Look at that.
You can't answer that one?
When we get back.
Isn't the answer no?
Drew, what's up with you tonight?
The answer should be no.
The answer is no.
You're always encouraging me to do good radio, Adam.
Oh, that's...
Yeah. I started, but now I want you to go the other way.
North and south,
What
there it
you do,
is.
Satan's radio. All right, we'll take a break, and then we'll find out what happens when one relieves oneself in one loved one's rectum.
This is Loveline.
It's a programming glitch. Can we talk here for a second?
They are treading water in a sea of retarded sexuality.
Loveline. Exclusively on Tucson's New Rock. 92.1 KFMA.
Hey, it is Loveline. I'm Adam Carolla. That is Dr. Drew. Bad Religion is hanging out with us tonight. And when we left off, we were talking about anal sex, right?
Sure we were.
Pete?
Yeah.
You had anal sex with your girlfriend.
Yeah.
And you
busted a nut
inside of her, right?
Well, that's natural.
Yeah.
And you want to know if that can cause any problems.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Besides, STDs, but,
Besides
other
that,
kind of infections.
What about pregnancy? Do you think you could get her pregnant that way?
I highly doubt it.
Hey, very good. A lot of people are confused on it. Thank you.
Besides STDs?
Right.
Let's just state for the record that...
Will the semen hurt the anus?
Not
the rectum is what you mean.
unless
the rectum.
Unless
Sorry,
it's
Greg.
infected with hepatitis B or maybe hepatitis C or HIV, in which case that's one of the most effective ways to transmit those diseases.
Right, but outside of any sexually transmitted diseases,
there's no specific infectious problem you have to worry about.
Well, let me tell you how I know that with confidence. Because crap comes out of the same hole, and it doesn't seem to have any bad effect on the
It
rectum.
wouldn't have an effect on me either.
Oh, that may.
Oh, yes. You can get urethral infections and urinary tract infections, things like that. Absolutely.
Okay.
All right?
Not to discourage you.
No, Pete. We don't want to get in the way of the career, but we're just saying that maybe you should put a condom on next time.
Right.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
She all right? Did you have to talk her into this?
No. Actually, she mentioned it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
She said, you're never going to get your penis in my ass? Is that how she brought it up?
We've been together for about 5 years, and we just have never tried it. And
All right.
Well,
All right.
So,
Thank
She
you.
brought up. That's a.
You know what I'd
that's
love?
a theme change.
I would love to have just footage of guys trying to talk their girlfriends into anal sex, because
that and a threesome. The two.
Yeah, anal sex even funnier. I don't know why, but just some sort of tape recorder put under the bed while the guy was sort of making his case. Oh yeah, it's in the Bible. Oh yes. Oh, I don't know where, but I'll tell you, I think toward the back. I think maybe
anal
in the,
sex.
Please, Drew.
Towards the rear.
Toward the rear of the Bible. All right. Miriam.
Hello?
Hey, you're 14.
Hi, yes.
Wow.
And I had a question for Bad Religion. I'm going to see you guys in 3 days or 2 days at the Glass House.
Cool.
And I wanted to know if you guys can play a song for me if it's possible.
For you or for the audience?
Huh? For the audience.
Oh, okay.
I don't think you guys play it anymore, or I don't know. The song Pity.
Oh, whoa.
You know,
we
actually,
we played it recently.
We played it about 3 months ago in Europe. We played it.
Man.
And there's nothing wrong with young listeners that listen to Bad Religion.
We love young listeners.
Okay.
Don't you think that you're kind of unique in that not everybody at your school likes Bad Religion, and you
Yeah,
feel
nobody at my school likes
there you go.
Well, nice.
That's
That's nice.
Like, I love you guys, and
Thanks.
for the girl with the red shirt, and
We will.
You know, Miriam, more people would like Bad Religion at your school if you put it on your Peachy folder.
Yeah, that's true.
yes, I do. I have Greg Graffin and everybody right there.
That's really nice.
Greg, don't worry about your voice. It's like the best voice, and anybody who tells you otherwise is just stupid.
Thanks.
Can you
I
make me the
appreciate it.
tall guy on the peachy folder playing basketball?
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
I want to be that guy.
I think we could play Pity, by the way.
Well, we'll think about it. We've been rehearsing the last few days, and we'll try and work it in.
Let's try it tomorrow.
You know, we only have 180 songs to choose from, so
Right.
we could.
And I know you only do a 122 set, so
Yeah, so
it's going to cut
it's
at least 58 songs out of the mix. That's rough. Yeah. I know it's got to. I mean, that's one thing from being around for 20 years is everyone's going to show up and probably want to hear something. But the point is they're into the band, and that's who's on stage. And no matter what song they're playing, they're still Bad Religion. You know, I just thought of something. I guess it'd be exercise in sociology. I'd like to look at is the Peachy folders. Everyone modifies their Peachy folders, and when I was a kid, the guys who were running track. The one guy who was running would have like a bandana on, and he'd be carrying a knife, and he was sort of chasing the other guy.
But doing a layup.
I'm sure kids before me had him holding a stick or a club, and now he's probably holding an Uzi,
yeah,
and maybe like a vibrator in the other hand or something. And it'd be a good sort of yardstick to measure society. This is what we found on the Peachy folders in 1957. This was 1972, and this is 1998.
It was a Afro comb, one of those combs in the 70s.
Oh, yeah.
And that would be a grenade launcher.
Yeah.
Right. Actually, there's no doodling anymore. There's just a hole and some semen stains. And a little bit of goat's blood. Samantha.
Hello.
You're 15.
Hi. By the way, I was homeschooled when I was little, and it was great.
From when to when?
Until I was in like the 3rd grade.
And by the time you stepped in with your peers, you were able to keep up?
Yeah, they weren't able to keep up with me, but
Good.
yeah.
I'll tell you, the
problem is that she got a little grandiose because of it, so there was a little psychological price to pay.
The advent of computers makes things a lot easier, too. Remember that. I mean, you've got programs you can sit them down with and work through.
Listen, you got the Discovery Channel,
Right,
you're
right.
set.
Yeah.
Why did you go in 3rd grade?
Because my parents opened a business, and they needed to run that.
And so, do you think that going to school helped you with your socialization better?
No, I'm still not very social, but that doesn't run in my family. We're all antisocial.
When they were homeschooling you, were they able to sort of discipline you? Like, okay, recess is at this time, lunch is at that time.
You have to shower.
The problem with homeschool is, like, we'd be right in the middle of something, the phone would ring, and I'd just walk over and go get it. Hey, Larry, what's going on?
This homework sucks.
I mean, if you had, like, a bike that you wanted to ride or a model that you wanted to build, you couldn't stay away from it, could you? I mean, how would you do that?
Well, I mean, my mom has a teaching degree, so I guess she knew what she was doing. So.
Yeah, there's no question that parents are good at it if they really have they really care about their kids and they want to. I mean, I'm not sure why you were kept out of school, but a lot of them just don't like the regiment that's going on at the schools, and
right. But there's no home life is the problem. I mean, if you went to a home job with a home life, and if everything was home after that, it'd be fine. But eventually, you got to get released out into the wild, don't you?
Yeah, and I think it's good that you got to school in 3rd grade.
Yeah,
oh, man, we're doing the anti-home.
Drew teaches them out in the yard.
No, we just keep involved in all kinds of crap out of the home.
Home's a place
Everything.
to go to bed.
Ice skating, camp, out of the home.
Right.
And they come home, they're happy to be home.
Hit the hay.
We always did stuff. We took dance lessons and piano and stuff like that.
What's up, Samantha? You have questions tonight?
Yeah. Well, I've been fantasizing about a girl that I go to school with, and I met her in August, and I don't know if this is, like, normal or anything.
Explicit fantasies?
What is that? What do you mean?
I mean, like sexual fantasies or just
your mom did a horrible job, by the way.
Fantasies of being close to her.
Just being closer. I can't, like, see myself, like, being sexual with...
Yeah, at your age, it's very difficult to sort out sexual feelings from close, intimate feelings. And even to have same-sex attractions that are explicitly sexual doesn't necessarily predict a homosexual orientation as a permanent orientation.
Well, why are you trying to talk her out of it? I
I'm
mean,
not talking
maybe
about
this
anything.
is where she's going.
Maybe. But maybe not, and she's a little freaked out about it. So I'm just saying, just relax.
I'm not freaked out about it.
All right, just relax. These are, just see what they are. You'll see as time goes along. My sense is, and it's only my instinct with her, is that these are feelings of intimacy, and that she really wants to be close to this person.
It'd be nice to have friends.
Yeah. See, this is more about that.
Yeah. See, that's that homeschooling thing.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
No, but my sister was in homeschool until she was in the 6th grade, and boy, she's screwed up.
She's got to be a case.
You said your family's antisocial.
I mean, you guys could go off on her.
Well, plus, really the most important thing about the grades like K through 6 is tetherball. And there's just no way you're squeezing that into the living room.
You're not gonna get it.
You're going to break something for sure. That's a recipe for disaster. Tetherball inside the house.
We had a tetherball at home.
Oh, you did?
Yes, we did.
All right.
How bizarre.
There it is again, Psychic Network.
Oh, yeah. All right, Samantha, have you ever had an experience with a woman?
No.
No.
Mm-mm.
You're just sort of interested.
Mm-hmm.
She wants closeness.
Yeah.
She should get that.
She wants a close girlfriend that she can confide in.
A good example of what we're talking about, though, with the homeschooling, which is you keep your kids out. I mean, part of being a kid, unfortunately, is you want to shelter your kids, but understand that seeing who's king of the sandbox and getting a wedgie and that whole thing is a real, I think, important part of growing up. And if you shelter them from that during the real formative years, I mean, it's just you and mom. Dad and mom from 0 to 11 or 12 years old.
It's unreal.
That's a little unrealistic.
Yeah.
And then I think it would be really equivalent to raising a chimp or a leopard or something in captivity and then sending it out to the jungle. It's like it hangs around the cage and wants to eat.
And they don't have a lot of social skills, so they end up being loners.
Right.
who have fantasies, and they want to have friends.
Next thing you know, they're forming a punk band, and
And you really should experience boiled meat at a young age, and eating home food is just not going to do it.
Hot lunch does teach you a thing or two.
I could never figure out how a school could screw up a burger when you could go to McDonald's for 39 cents and get one that tasted 10 times as good. How you could F the burger concept up, but they gave it a try, and Lord knows they succeeded. All right, Bad Religion is still here. Drew, you... Yeah, okay. Must be nice.
He's leaving.
You believe we get paid the same?
Yeah, I can't
You believe that?
No, I can't believe that.
Thank you. We'll be back.
But you got...
1-800-LOVE-191. Operators are standing by. Loveline will be back in a minute.
KFMA.
Let's just enjoy this. I just want to enjoy the riff here. It doesn't go into vocals, does it?
Who needs it? You guys can use it if you want.
I think we are, yeah.
Sing it, Greg.
Go.
All right. Now here I go. Hope it don't fade out. I've only got a few years left. My voice is going.
Bad Religion, everybody. We're way out of time. No Substance is the name of the CD. Please go out and buy that again if you haven't already. If you have bought it, and if you haven't already, go get another one. Guys, thanks a ton, and really, come back anytime you like.
We appreciate it. We always love being here. Thank you. And we'll see you on Friday.
That's true. Until next time.
Cool.
No. He's talking about the show. You're not doing the TV show, are you?
Oh.
Yeah, we're doing it.
We haven't been asked.
All right.
We're doing
it, but we don't.
Sorry about that. We're at the Santa Monica Civic Friday.
That's right.
That's what I was saying.
Thanks for the confusion, Drew. So until next time, it's Adam Carolla for Dr. Drew saying mahalo.
This has been Loveline. The views expressed on Loveline are not necessarily those of the staff, the management, or the sponsors of this radio station. And are probably not the views of Westwood One Entertainment. Loveline.